I am Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman, dental practice broker, dad, dentist, some founder of Dental Nachos and Dentist Job Connect, brother, friend, and human being trying to figure this out. I'm so thrilled to have Jordon talking with us. He's going to tell us about his associate position in a minute, but before I bring him up to talk, ask yourself this: is your associate position a car or a boat? Is it a need or a want? What's the why for your associate position? A want, a boat position may not have enough patience. People sell their boat before their car. So make sure if it fits in your life, you're in a need position. Just last night in my DMs, a dentist just like Jordon said, hey, Paul, I took a part-time job. They said it was going to turn into a full-time job, never turned into a full-time job. Make sure that you look at these 3 M's: mentorship, money, and morale. Balance them all out. A job where you make a lot of money, where you don't want to walk into work, not a good job. A job that makes you feel great about yourself as a person and professional, but only has you doing basic dentistry and not earning over $100,000 a year when you have dental school debt, might not be a good fit either. So balance these M's out in morale, mentorship, and money. I invented Dentist Job Connect to solve my own problem. During the pandemic, our associate moved across the country, and we replaced our associate with the awesome Dr. Alicia. This is my brother and I. We run 2 dental practices in New Jersey, and we've hired multiple associates. We can help you find a job. Just text job to 215-798-9897, and Dentist Job Connect will help you find a job that is a fit for you. So I'm going to bring us both on screen now. I'll stop share so you can see us as big as possible. So Dr. Jordon, I like this. I don't want to start with dental school. I don't want to start with your high school. I want to start with today. Tell the Dental Nachos and Dentist Job Connect audience where you are today, what you did today, and let's move back from there.
Yeah, I'm in Carmi, Illinois. We're Carmi Family Dental here. It's a pretty busy practice. So today, we do a lot of dentistry here. There's a lot of need. We're in a high need area. It's very rural, but it's kind of a special place that we're not tied up with a lot of insurance companies. So we're fee for service, but our fees are very reasonable. So it's not a fee for service office that's real bougie where they're charging, $2,500 for a crown. Our fees are more manageable. We're right around $1,000 for a crown, and so it's designed to help patients out and to do a lot of dentistry. So I like to tell others who are looking at jobs and stuff, 30% of nothing is nothing.
Right.
So you want to be busy. So that's just as important as, looking at mentorship and, being flexible and all those great things.
I love that share. So I talk about new dentists or any dentist and practice owner or DSO should be able to ask and answer these 5 questions. Where's the job? Carmi, Illinois. Okay. Why do they need an associate? We're going to skip over that for a second. Tell me today, what procedures? I say, ask your office, what procedures am I going to be doing most of the time? And then what are some opportunities to learn more? So tell us about the procedures you did this week. If you go on Dental Nacho's Instagram, I shared all these cool things. Tell us about your Nacho plate of procedures you do on a day-to-day basis in this associate position.
So I was trained at Midwestern. We do a lot of digital dentistry. And Dr. Roser, thankfully, has a lot of the tools and capability for me to do that. So we do a lot of same-day crowns. I'll do same-day molar endo crown, big appointment, but if the patient wants to do it, the opportunity's there. I can copy a denture in 24 hours. If I have to do it, I can digitally print a denture with Flexera, using an Einstein printer, mesh mixer. I learned that from I did Dental Nachos webinar, and Transcendental came on.
Oh, wait. So you paid attention to a totally free Facebook group?
Totally free.
Right. How much did it cost to join the Dental Nachos Facebook group?
Free 99.
Why do some people complain about it? I don't understand. How can you complain about free? Dentists can complain the sky is too blue, right? And then you connected with Dr. Ben Kellum. These are why these stories have stories built into it. When you went to Transcendental, there was no charge to go to the course, right?
No
Through Dental
charge.
Nachos. You
That's
went
right.
down there. I give you credit. As a dental student, why was that so transformative when you went down there? You found the money to stay at a hotel or do whatever. You didn't have to pay for the course, but why would you inspire kindly annoyed dental students to get as much C as possible while they're in dental school?
Because there's just things out there that you're just not trained to do in dental school. There are all these softwares that you can design that have so much capability. And so when I went down there and I saw Corey Glenn talk, he talked about using a free software, Mesh Mixer, free software. Patient has a really old denture that they love. They just love this denture, right? But they cracked it in half. Well, you can digitally split the file and print teeth in white and print gums in pink, and you're ready to deliver. And the patient is so happy that they have their denture back.
So Corey was one of my OG speakers in Dental Nachos 2018. Amazing guy. This is just a funny story. Where's he from? He's from Alabama, or
yeah?
So
I think so. No, he's in Tennessee right now.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he must have think I had real nacho power. So the best place for nachos, Elvez. He was coming to speak Friday and Saturday. My wife and I were there on Wednesday. We go there all the time. We said to the server, I'm bringing this guy in from Tennessee. I got him a reservation here. I know he's going to love it, right? So I said, Corey, go to Elvez. He sits down at 8 p.m. for this reservation, and it was our server, and they immediately brought him a free plate of nachos from Dr. Nacho. So he thought, I really must have power. So he's an amazing guy to follow. Does awesome stuff. So we talked about what procedures you do, everything from seeing children. But go back to my slide about M's. There is a myth, it's another M. Oh, I did a lot of dental care in Midwestern or anywhere. I can just go and do it. But you couldn't do this without the mentorship. Talk to the audience about, like, no matter how competent you were from dental school, you're now in private practice, learning to use these machines and people. How is Dr. Rosner and his partners, how has that mentorship impacted your learning?
Yeah, so I'm not here saying that I'm the gunner. I'm not the best in my class. I don't have the best hands. I'm not the best looking. So Dr. Roser's really good surgeon. He does a lot of sedation. He takes lots of wisdom teeth out. He's ready to go. He can place loads of implants. Dr. Voiles does a lot with peds. He does a lot with CEREC, same day dentistry. And so when I came here, I was really looking for that opportunity to get busy, but you don't really have that full capability without backup support. So when I came here, I had to use a different implant system than I was trained in school. I had to figure out how to make the guides using a different system than I was trained in school, and reading the CBCT, different system. So it's all of these little things that are different, that you need that support and mentorship to actually get the job done. And you're going to be slower than you think. You're going to be.
Why you're slower, two things. First of all, you always need to have someone teach you how to use the thing that you don't know how to use, right?
Yeah.
So if they weren't there, you would not be able to do these things. So
no way.
When you go and look for a job, this is golden nacho tip. Please put this in the chat. I give all these resources, and you've used them. Ask this, ask this. One of the most important questions for asking for your morale and money is, how often will I be the only dentist in the practice? How often will I be the only dentist on site? Because it doesn't matter if you did 300 crowns. Patients are unpredictable, procedures are unpredictable, and you get that feeling in your stomach where you got to walk out of the operatory and say, I need help with this. And that's a totally normal feeling. And my sense is, Jordon, having these two dentists that you can do this with gives you the confidence to grow.
Oh, I've been bailed out. So, I've got stuck taking a tooth out, and Dr. Roser's come in and helped me out. I've been working with peds, and, I just had trouble getting the patient to be cooperative. Dr. Voiles comes in and saves the day. So I have the opportunity to give it a shot, but I have the insurance that they're going to be there to back me up.
And it's so key. I mean, my own brother, I had this with my dad. I do. And sometimes help goes the other way. You'll be helping them one day, but my own brother couldn't get his long-term, I don't say permanent, long-term crown, tried it in. He goes, Paul, I can't get this thing off for number 30. There's no cement. And I just and because I was brother, walked in the patient, I said, of course he needs help from his stronger, older brother, make a joke out of it. I was able to twist it and do it, not that anything special. But if you are the only dentist in the practice all the time, it can be incredibly stressful, borderline unfair for someone that's less than 5 years experience out of school, because it's not just inside the operatory problems. Maybe you're not a problem in dental school, but it is in private practice, whether it's payments, whether it's you look too young. Aware our audience, responsibly concern them that, hey, I'm only 1 year beyond you guys, but these are some things I weren't expecting to make me cry inside or sweat on the outside.
Yeah. Just handling hygiene in 2 columns, it's a juggling act. And training new assistants, wow, that's really tough. You're wanting to stay on time, but they can't get the impression. You can't be in 2 places at once.
I also think hygiene is emotionally a challenge because you could have something going off script in your room, and then they go, "Oh, hey, go pretend to be nice to this other patient when you're in a bad mood." And I really believe that it's a very difficult thing at any age or stage. But when all the patients, this is the key, Jordan. I did a funny Instagram thing with this little girl on the beach saying to her dad, "I'm going to lay down and take a nap right here." And I go, "This is what it feels like when you go from 3 patients to 17 patients." Because when you're a new dentist, all the patients are new to you. I have emotional and relationship capital with Millie. I did 3 implants on her. I've helped her. So I go, "You know what, Millie, I could literally say to Millie, I got to take care of something, play on your phone for 9 minutes, and she'll come back and not be mad at you at all." But if it's my new associate, why are they late? So I really believe that's a key point there. I want to share in the Zoom or Facebook Live. So I'm looking, you're welcome to ask Jordon chat. So we asked where the job is, what you're doing. When you went on the interview that you found through Dentist Job Connect. So I just want to let you know, everyone in that office, they wouldn't know you without me. You should show them this video, show the whole office, the front desk team. Without the thoughts in my head, Jordan, they would not know you, because in all honesty, I know it's a pat in the back for Job Connect. You wouldn't have found this job without Job Connect.
No, I had no intention of going to Illinois at all.
Also, just wouldn't have been in your orbit. Like, you would have been a 4th-year dental school. Where would you have seen this job, right?
Yeah.
So that's what Dentist Job Connect does. My team can share how people can connect with us. But now talk about, why did they need an associate? Go back to your interview with this office. You fly out there. Of course, you're like, should I move here or not? But what was their why when they talked to you?
They can't get patients in on time. There's too many patients. There's too much dentistry to do. They're booked out too far. They can't get to all the hygiene checks. And those are just music to my ears as an associate, because I want to be busy. And if you're going to move out into the middle of nowhere and you're going to buy a house, wow, you better be busy.
And so I like that part. We're going to get that. How did you convince your wife that this was a good move for you guys?
I was very fortunate that me and my wife are high school sweethearts. She grew up just right up the hill from me in Kentucky. She grew up in a small town too. So she was very used to it, very comfortable with it. And we like the idea of raising a family here.
Because you can't have an annoyed partner.
No.
And then also, I mean, people think of me a JBN guy. Just be nice is like, I don't know, if someone does a PFM crown and you want to do a zirconia crown, don't call them the worst dentist in the world. Like, that's not freaking nice, right? But just be real. JBR, just be real. How difficult would this be for you if you were totally single and you didn't have a wife and child?
Yeah, I think if you have difficulty, dentists are introverted, a lot. Like most dentists are a lot introverts. So you would have a harder time getting out and meeting people. You definitely got to do something to get out there in the community and kind of just get out there and meet friends. Like, how do adults make friends?
Yeah, I say. Well, the thing is you brought your friends with you. Your 2-year-old and your wife, and I mean, that's a real part of that. So now let's talk about, at the interview process, people go, where's the job? Why do they need an associate? It's more of a car than a boat. Great. Need than a want. What procedures? You get that. How were you going to be compensated? Because you and I had many Facebook DMs. So be real with this. What were your compensation expectations? Why did you want to make a lot of money? This is your chance to share with people and help them forever. Why it's important to help people first, patients, but it's also important to be profitable for yourself in the office. So talk a little bit about your compensation expectations before meeting them, and then what did they offer you?
Yeah, so we had a meeting, and I was offered a $200,000 salary, and I said, that's really good. We had a sit-down meeting, and then I asked for a little bit more. I asked for 200,000 versus 30% of collections, because I will work really hard. So I'll work 5 days a week. That's not a problem for me. I love what I do. I'm here a lot. So I'll work through lunch. I'll come in early. I really love dentistry. So, if the job is going to be able to get me busy, then, we should both enjoy the rewards of me being busy and wanting to work more.
I love that. And right now you're getting 30% you have a $200,000 guarantee.
Yeah.
30% of what you do. And you're on pace to earn what at the end of your 12 months?
So this month I did, 80,000 in collections this month. So that's pretty good. If you did 75 per 12 months, that's 900,000 a year. So at 30%, that'd be a $300,000 a year
Yeah.
job.
So, I mean, it's reasonable to say you're going to earn between 250 and $300,000.
Yeah, we're
So
in there.
you're learning first, you're treating patients right first, but close second, you're earning. Dental school, Jordan, I don't understand. They charge so much money and they don't talk about the money. It's crazy. I mean, go out and treat people right is the worst piece of business advice ever, because whether you're a chef or a dentist, good story. One of my family members owned a restaurant. They had a chef that demanded to use like $5 lemons. And they're like, we can't afford $5 lemons all the time. You got to figure out how to use $3 ones. And they had to fire the guy. So what this whole concept that money isn't important from a place that charges you a lot of money. You saw my dad push-ups, right? They got no problem charging the money. So we have to have authentic conversations about what dentists are earning. So we've gone through all that. You've been awesome when doing that. I have text job to 215-798-9897. You've been really authentic and helpful in sharing. You went on a lot of interviews. You looked at Job Connect. I find that some of the problems new dentists have is they didn't give themselves enough options. They didn't go on enough interviews, and they didn't start early enough. So I'm medium aged. You're not medium aged. Inspire the D4s and current residents why they should be on Job Connect, Indeed, Dental Town, CE courses now to find their job in the next 3 months.
It's never too early to start looking.
Yeah.
So when I was a D3, I started looking into GPR programs, AEGD programs, and I wanted to look at interviews because I want to find the best option for me. And I did a couple of GPR interviews, and I didn't find that it was a good fit for me. I'm not opposed to it. I'm totally on board with it. And at the same time that I was doing the GPR interviews, I had this interview that went really well. I had loads of opportunity for mentorship. And so, I just kind of sat back, talked it over with my family, and this felt like a good step for us, just moving forward, learning more while getting paid to learn. So that just seemed like a win-win.
Yeah. And that's why it's the right decision for you, but it has to be made with eyes wide open. Too often decisions aren't made proactive by new dentists. They're making reactive, and they text me, I don't know someone. I see my Facebook Messenger, Jordan, where it like isn't even my friend. And I see like, hey, Dr. Nacho, 23 lines of text. None of it's good. It's not like my life's going well. I love dentistry. It's like, is this normal at my job? I say, no, it's borderline illegal. And then I say, how many jobs do you apply to? Well, just this one. I started too late. So now is the time to pay attention to this. I want to spend a little more time with you, but the fifth question is, when I say to a dentist, dentists are people too. You have to have a life outside of the operatory. What fun things do you and your family do in Carmel, Illinois? Because what fun things to do is important as well.
Yeah. So, we're a few hours away from, my house or my family's farm in Kentucky. So we can go up, hang out with the family. I'm going up there for the 4th of July. My kid likes to hang out with Dr. Roser's kids and Dr. Voil's kids. So my wife goes and hangs out with their wives and that sort of thing. On the weekends, I'm a pretty lazy guy. I like to, I've got a big Rectex smoker. I like to smoke my meats and do some ribs and that sort of thing. I like to play with my lawn. I got a little lawn, nice riding lawnmower, and trim up my edges and just play in my lawn a little bit.
You're a suburban dad. You
Yeah.
went straight suburban. I like that. And I mean, you rounded out this whole conversation for us, and you shared, you didn't listen to me, but you did also listen to me, right? It's like so talk to somebody. I am at the end of the day just one person, right? I do have Dental Nachos. I have awesome people working for me. I have Dentist Job Connect, but there's no way that I can talk to 6,000 graduating dentists like I did with you. What were some of the reasons you reached out to me, and how would you recommend dental students reach out for mentorship, whether it's Dr. Nacho, because you weren't afraid to say, hey, Paul, like we developed a friendship through Facebook. Tell the audience a little more about that and what you would recommend them do with finding mentors.
Yeah, so you need to find people who are better connected than you,
Yeah,
right?
such a
So,
good tip.
Dr. Nacho is extremely connected. He's knows a lot of people. He knows a lot of educators. He knows a lot about the business. So he seemed like a really nice guy to start with. So I basically commented on a little thing that he posted, and he said a little quotation from his grandmother, a little funny
Yeah,
line.
yes, great.
I made a plaque out of it and
That was
sent it
great. I love that plaque.
sending me to a CE, and then I've just been soaking it up ever since.
And also I want to share, I mean, sometimes people go, I treat my team like my family. I treat my patients like family. I say, cool, you guys fight on vacation 3 days in when somebody uses up all the ketchup, because family and friends have friction. They shouldn't have toxic fighting. So we haven't agreed on everything. I have an outlook that makes sense for new dentists to do hygiene as part of their schedule in certain practices like mine. You have an outlook where it didn't make sense for you, and you found a practice. I mean, just so I can explain my side, I have right now a totally out of network practice in one of the most popular states in the country, New Jersey. It's a practice my dad built, my brother's there. The patient relationships, they have a lot of choices of other dentists. So it's not as easy for me to say to a GPR grad, hey, go take out these 3 teeth and try to do bone grafting, right? It just doesn't work that way. Start to develop relations with fundamental dentistry and doing some hygiene. Why would it be unreasonable for you to do hygiene as a new dentist in your practice? I mean, the dental need, you have plenty of hygienists. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, it would be less profitable for me and for the practice if I was doing hygiene. And if I wanted to do it, I can. So like, if a patient comes in and it's like, I think this would be a lot better if we got the cleaning done first and we're booked out too far. Yeah, I'll do the cleaning. But there are other ways I can help the practice. So like Dr. Roser, he does a lot of surgery, but he's not as tech savvy as me, maybe. So he was doing a lot of hybrids, and then I found this cool product called the Opti Splint, and it's a way to use your digital scanner.
That's awesome.
Is really cool, as opposed to buying a $40,000 photogrammetry iCam or something like that. So like, while instead of doing hygiene and that sort of thing, I stay busy. But if he needs like a single front tooth match, I'll come in and neo it for him. Or if he needs help with, he says, hey, I want to take all the teeth out, I don't want to do the denture, I'll do the denture.
Right.
I love
So you guys, you share the nacho toppings in a way that makes sense for you guys. Just want to catch you. I'm talking with the awesome Dr. Jordon, someone I helped. He did not listen to me and do a GPR. He did listen to me and find an awesome job through Dentist Job Connect. He's sharing his first year out story. I love doing this. You are gonna like this, Jordon. You're gonna look back 5 years from now because you're gonna forget what it's like to be your first year out. Someone just put in the chat, which is great. I would love to go to free CE, and I give you a lot of credit. You paid a lot of attention at Dental Nachos, because right now we're sponsoring 10 dental students to come for free in April from around the country. I'm sponsoring 10 dental students to go to the Dental Success Summit. I sponsored you, but the pandemic hit for the Dental Success Summit. I'm sponsoring 10 dental students to go to Dykema. One thing I also want to share, and this is kind of a spicy topic. People go, Paul, I thought you're anti-DSO, pro-private practice, pro-DSO. Not. I'm pro-dentist being helped in making better decisions for them. The reality of this world is, if DSOs did not hire new grads, there would be a lot of unemployed new grads. It's as simple as that. That's a fact. I didn't make it up. I happen to own 2 private practices. I help DSOs with private practices. This person said they're not a dental student, they just graduated. Well, we have some really reasonably priced CE for new grads too. Morgan, my awesome team, Morgan, can share our events there. We'll get you a discount. But tell us a little about your friends in this DSO world, private practice world. What has been some of their experience of your dental school classmates, just so people have awareness of the 2 career paths. You're in private practice. My associates are private practice. I connect people with DSOs. There's good DSOs, not so good DSOs, good private practices, not so good private practices. What would you tell them about this DSO private practice friction?
I would say keep an open mind, just keep an open mind, and, don't let your preconceptions ruin a good opportunity for you. Because if you go to a private practice thinking it's going to be better than a DSO, well, some of the interviews I went on with private practices were really just not a good fit for me. And some of the DSO offers were really competitive, but some of them were not. So you have to look at each by case basis and really look at it and think about the practice, think about the lifestyle, think about the procedure mix. There's a whole lot to consider. And so you got to start early and you got to give yourself loads of options to choose from.
I love that. That's great advice. Please, Nacho team, take some of that for our instrument. I also want to share that, like, you can't control the waves in the ocean. You have to ride them. It's like one of those, quotes, right? When the pandemic happened and Philadelphia was shut down, Jordan, some of my Nacho people go, it's ridiculous. They close restaurants. And I go, you want me to break into a restaurant and like demand to eat, right? You want me to like commit a crime? I go, I have to react to what's happening in my city, right? And now back to dentistry. My wife just saw our OBGYN. She works for a hospital system in Philadelphia. She doesn't own it. She works for a hospital DSO. We found someone to give us good care and we like her. And of course, sometimes, Jordan, I was frustrated with how long it took to get in for appointments. But what's happening in the dentistry, it's like waves. You cannot stop these waves. You have to figure out how to ride them. And my hope is, in doing what I do, is by putting out responsible information, I hope I get private practices and DSOs to act right. Because I give an income guarantee day one till your last day as an associate, specialists included. So I think a lot of private practice dentists, they kill what you eat and hunt PPO class twos. That stinks. And in your travels, were DSOs more open to having income guarantees than private practices?
Yes, but not competitive ones.
And the one you found was awesome. And then also DSOs. Sometimes, are you leaving people out hanging out your associates to dry, putting them in offices by themselves just because you need a dentist to run it, and kind of crushing their morale with that? Where's your support? So find good DSOs. I'm so glad you said that. Find good private practices. Start early. Is there anything I missed, Jordan, that you want to share with the Nacho community before we wrap up?
I'm very positive. I think the opportunities out there, I just think there's so many opportunities that you need to look carefully to find the one. And so I don't think there's a scarcity of job opportunities out there. I think there's loads of great practices looking for great associates, but it's just, you're going to have to look through more of them to find the one that's right for you.
Awesome. Well, stick around for a minute before we go off Facebook Live. Thanks so much for sharing with this. This is Jordon Sowders, who did and did not listen to me and is out there crushing and stomping it as a brand new grad. Please follow Marginally Smooth DMD on Instagram. If we can help you in any way at Dental Nachos, text job to 215-798-9897. Thanks so much, Jordan.
Thank you.